the argument that Donald Trump's lifelong pattern of infidelity, adultery, shattering every vow of every one of his marriages by his own admission, and the fact that Donald Trump screwed a porn star. Now, I don't think Melania Trump's going to be more embarrassed by what Michael Cohen or Stormy Daniels has to say than by the fact that a few months after she had a kid, her husband was screwing a porn star. And that's what you're saying is okay. I get it. You accept that. That's part of your moral framework. That's part of your moral landscape. Good for
Rick,
you.
You know what?
Do.
Brooke, tell him this is I'm not going to tolerate that.
Paris,
you don't know my moral framework.
You don't tell me what you're going to tolerate.
No, I am going to tell you what you're not going to. When it comes to me,
part of your
you're not
moral
going to do it,
landscape.
Rick.
It's okay
Brooke,
for Donald Trump to screw a porn star. It's okay for Donald Trump to screw a porn star if he's just not the president.
Keep saying it more and more. Keep saying it more and more. Get it out. Get it out of your system. We all know that's what you want to say. But at the end of the day, he's still the president, and you should have a little bit more respect for Mrs. Trump than to continue to talk about this. Have a decent conversation about the payment and Michael Cohen. Go ahead and do that. This has nothing to do with his candidacy. It has nothing to do with the presidency or his policies. Let's have a conversation on policy.
Husband shouldn't have screwed a porn star.
Okay. Paris and Rick. Wow. Wow. Thank you both for that conversation. We are back with the bombshell allegation that the lawyer for Stormy Daniels is calling fact. The adult film star was apparently threatened with physical harm unless she stayed quiet about her alleged affair with Donald Trump.
I'm stating a fact, and the fact is that my client was physically threatened to stay silent about what she knew about Donald Trump. We have been approached by 6 separate women who claim to have similar stories to those or to that of my client. 2 of those women, at least 2, have NDAs. We are in the very early stages of vetting those stories. I want to preach caution and restraint. We are not vouching for these stories. We are investigating them.
With me now, Rick Wilson, Republican strategist, and Paris Denard, CNN political commentator and member of the Trump Advisory Board. Gentlemen, let's get to it, starting with all things Stormy. Rick, you tweeted that Trump is worried about this whole Stormy scandal because of financial reasons and not political. Why?
I think he feels like his political base is secure. They've told us over and over they will tolerate any immorality, any scuzzy behavior. I mean, he could be hitting it with her on the White House lawn and they'd be like, yay, go MAGA. But I do think he is worried now that as the NDAs start to look a little more brittle, and as Stormy Daniels and other folks look at angles by which they could litigate on this, I think he knows it's going to cost him legally, it's going to cost him financially, it's going to start eating up his bandwidth. He's going to have to actually pay lawyers. They're not all going to take out a home equity loan to cover up his dalliances with porn stars. So he's going to end up with a lot of costs. And I think also, we got to also think about Melania's prenup with him. So there may be a money equation there as well that he puts him at some risk.
Why, if Paris, if the president, I mean, obviously he is involved, 2 Trump attorneys connected to keeping Stormy quiet here. If the president is innocent, why not say so publicly?
Well, I don't think that the president wants to dignify this story, be it true or false, because it's something that is personal and has nothing to do with him as the president of the United States of America. It didn't happen, if the allegations are true, while he was a candidate for president. It didn't happen while he was sitting in the Oval Office. This is something that is just terribly embarrassing for the First Lady. That's what I think about every time I hear these stories. I'm sure
but it happened, Paris, let me just jump in, because it happened days before the election, and the president on his Twitter feed does seem to weigh in on everything else.
Sure, I think the payment from Michael Cohen from his personal account, from a line of credit, whatever, from his home to Stormy Daniels did happen before the election, but the alleged affair.
You don't think that's a big deal? The timing?
Okay. Well, I think
the time. I think the timing could be important.
I feel you struggling here. Let me help you out here.
No, I can't. I'm not struggling.
Donald Trump has a long pattern of engagement with a variety of women to whom he is not married. Michael Cohen has long been out there doing these NDAs for these various women that Trump was involved with sexually and in other capacities. This is something that is a long pattern of behavior. Now, are you telling me that Republicans have never once brought up the fact that Bill Clinton screwed his way through Arkansas? No. They did it all the time. It wasn't because it was before he was president that makes a difference. It's that he did it at all. And the fact
no,
that
that's
Donald
not true.
Trump
No,
as
no,
an
you
attorney,
interrupt me. Let
as
me
an
interrupt
attorney,
you.
the
No,
fact-
it's different because at the
Paris,
time, Bill Clinton was the attorney general and he was a sitting governor of Arkansas, and the claims came by someone who was a sitting elected official. Donald Trump, these
is your standard
allegations
of behavior so low?
took place
Hang on, let Paris
before.
finish. Let Paris finish.
These
Go ahead,
allegations
Paris. Is your
took place
standard of-
before he
Paris,
was
is your
president and
standard of
before he was a
behavior-
candidate. He was not a public official, and there's a different standard. It's totally different. So
Oh,
you're comparing apples and oranges.
Paris,
If, however,
if your
something
standard
happened
is-
to
if your
President
standard
Trump
is that-
while he was in the
okay,
Oval
that's enough.
Office,
If your standard
then
is
that would
low,
be
Paris,
something different.
if
But
your
that's not
standard
what
is
happened
that
like what
low,
happened with President
If your
Clinton.
standard is that
Guys, one
low
voice.
and you're okay
Go
with
ahead,
him
Rick.
screwing porn stars, if you're okay with him screwing porn stars, just say the words, I'm okay with Donald Trump screwing porn stars. Can you say that for me, Paris? Because
You know what I
that's
will
you're
say
saying.
is that you have no respect for Mrs. Trump. You have no respect for his children. You have no respect for
Oh,
his family.
I'm sorry.
Because this has
I'm
nothing
sorry,
to do
Paris.
with him as a
I'm sorry.
candidate, and it has nothing
Let's
to do with
see.
him as the
Let's
sitting
see. Who is
president of the
Donald
United
Trump?
States. You can dig up dirty laundry, and
Hey,
I pray
Paris,
to God
perhaps
nobody
when we're gonna
goes back
talk
in
about
your
respect,
past and picks up
perhaps we're
something
gonna
that has
talk about
nothing to do with your
respect,
present
Paris.
time
Perhaps
as
when we're
sitting
gonna
here on
talk
this
about respect,
on this
Paris,
as a commentator.
we're going to talk
but
about
it's rude
the fact
and it's offensive.
that
It has
Donald Trump
nothing
has
to do with him as
insulted
a president.
POWs, has
Criticize
insulted
the
families
president
of
for
Oh my
his
gosh,
slain
you
policies.
guys, you guys,
Criticize the
please,
president
please,
for
one
his
of you at a
tactics,
time.
but don't go back and criticize him for something that has nothing to do with the presidency.
For folks across this country because of his behavior towards people. Don't you dare talk about respect when he insulted the family of Humayun Khan. Don't you dare talk about respect when Donald Trump insulted John McCain's war service. That is a man who has no respect for anyone on this earth. And the fact that you're defending him on that speaks much more about your character and the low
Rick, I don't
standards
know
you
you.
have.
Rick, I don't know you, but I would advise you to not question my character because you don't know me. But if you like to talk to
what are
me
you gonna do?
about my character and what I believe, I can have that conversation separately. But what I will say is if
Step
you're
up,
going
bro.
to impugn the integrity of the
You're
president,
defending
do
Donald
so
Trump
on
screwing
things
a
that are
porn
relevant
star.
to him
It's
as
okay.
a candidate
Okay.
and
Embrace
as
it.
the president,
Say it, Paris.
not things
Just
that
say
have
it.
nothing
Just
to
say,
do
I
with
love
his
that Donald
presidency.
Trump screwed
That's
a
all
porn
I'm
star.
saying.
You can just
Continue
say
to
it.
rabble.
You can just say
Guys,
it.
no personal insults, please. And let me jump in because Paris, here's a question for you. Is we are talking about the payment coming out just days before the presidential election. Let me flip it around. If this was Hillary Clinton, what would happen if Hillary Clinton's lawyer paid off an accuser days before the election? How do you think Trump would react? Fair question.
I think on the issue of a payment by the lawyer, I think he would have a reaction. Absolutely.
And what
I
kind of
think
reaction do you think that would be?
it would be negative. I'm certain it would be negative. But I'm also saying that that is a separate issue from if she did something while she was a candidate or if she did something while she was the sitting Secretary of State. That is what all I'm saying is let's separate apples from oranges. If we're going to talk about the payment and the timing of that, that's fair. But to bring up the allegation that happened long before he was a candidate or president,
But it's
I think
connected.
is irrelevant. And I think
Listen,
that's why
I hear
he's
you
not
loud and
commenting
clear
on
because
it.
this happened. It happened years and years ago, and I think you're absolutely right in pointing out he was private citizen Donald Trump at the time. But it is entirely germane because we're talking about the payment and the hush money days before everyone went to the polls to elect him as president of the United States. That is, you are allowed to connect the two there.
You're allowed to raise the question as to why Michael Cohen did that in his personal capacity as his lawyer. But at the end of the day, there's attorney-client privilege, and that's not going to come out. And I think all of this extra comment about what Stormy has to say or what she doesn't have to say is just to embarrass the First Lady, because her commentary has nothing to do with the presidency. Let's have a conversation and let the lawyers figure out if there is something untoward about the payment. Did it come from the Trump organization? Did it come from President Trump? Michael Cohen says it did it. Michael Cohen said he took it out of his own line of credit from his mortgage to pay for it because he is someone who supports the president and didn't want this getting out. That's on Michael Cohen, not on the president.
Go ahead, Rick. I know you want to jump in. Go ahead.
You know, the argument that Donald Trump's lifelong pattern of infidelity, adultery, shattering every vow of every one of his marriages by his own admission, and the fact that Donald Trump screwed a porn star. Now, I don't think Melania Trump's going to be more embarrassed by what Michael Cohen or Stormy Daniels has to say than by the fact that a few months after she had a kid, her husband was screwing a porn star. And that's what you're saying is okay. I get it. You accept that. That's part of your moral framework. That's part of your moral landscape. Good for
Rick,
you.
you
Go
know what?
do.
Brooke,
But the
tell
fact-
him this
wait,
is I'm not going to
Paris,
tolerate that.
Paris,
You don't know my moral framework.
You don't
So
tell
you
me
should
what you're
just
going to
stop.
tolerate. I'm
No,
gonna
I am going to tell you what
something right
you're not going
now.
to.
You have
When it
said
comes to
it's
me,
part of your
you're
moral
not going to do it,
landscape.
Rick.
It's okay
Rick,
for
I'm done
Donald Trump
here.
to screw a porn star. It's okay for Donald Trump to screw a porn star if he's just not the president.
Keep saying
Is that
it more and
okay? Is that what
more.
you're telling
Keep
me?
saying it more and more. Get it out. Get it out of your system. We
Is
all
that
know
what you're
that's what
saying?
you want to say. But at the end of the
Paris,
day,
is
he's
that
still
what
the
you're saying? 'Cause
president,
that's what
and
you're
you should have a
saying.
little bit more respect for Mrs. Trump than to continue to talk about
Yeah,
this.
I'm
Have a
gonna say
decent
this, Paris.
conversation
I think
about
if
the
we were worried
payment
about
and Michael
respect from
Cohen. Go
Mrs.
ahead and do
Trump,
that.
her
But this has
husband
nothing
shouldn't
to do with
have
his
screwed a
candidacy.
porn
It has
star.
nothing to do with the presidency
If you
or
were
his
worried
policies.
about respect
Let's
for
have a
Melania
conversation on
Trump, her
policy.
husband shouldn't have screwed
Okay.
a porn star.
Okay, Paris and Rick. Wow. Wow. Thank you both for that conversation. Ahead here.